Do you hear? But do you really hear that sound? There's an alarm going off in your spirit. And you keep hitting the snooze button. Right now, are you literally where you want to be in life? Or have you allowed yourself to live a different existence that allows you to get by day to day, but deep down inside, you're not happy? That alarm that is going off in your spirit, that is your calling trying to get your attention. And no matter how much money you make, no matter what position you may have, no matter how much you may try and drown yourself with the kids you may have, or try and throw yourself into the church that you're a part of, or try and throw yourself into your family life, the alarm never stops going off until you answer it. The reason why you're up late at night and you don't know what's bothering you, the reason why you get up in the morning and you're saying, I should be happy, but I'm not, it's because there's something you know you're supposed to do that is related to why you were created that you are not yet doing. And that noise, you can drown it out, you can try and drink it out, but it's still in your spirit. And the reality is you are not happy. And you can come here, the Dr. Oz show, and it's cool to be a part of this, but can we talk real for a minute? What is it going to take for you to have the courage to answer the ringing in your spirit? It sounds crazy. You don't think you have the money to do it. You don't think you have the education to do it. You don't think you have the background to do it. And all of these things allow your fear to get you away from saying, yes, today is going to be the day that I answer the call. In my own life, I'm standing before you. I'm standing before you as an act of faith, and I'm standing before you as somebody who had to answer the call. I was raised in the church and had dreams of one day working in Hollywood, and people would say, oh, you can't go to Hollywood. That's Sodom and Gomorrah. That's the devil's playground. But I said, I feel a ringing in my spirit that this is where I'm supposed to be. So I had a choice. Am I going to allow my mother, my brothers, my aunts, my cousins, my uncles, my pastor, tell me what my life was supposed to be? Or am I going to listen to what I believe God is telling me, answer the call, and have enough confidence to walk it out? And I can tell you, when I began to walk out this thing called Hollywood and do it the way that God called me to do it, everything in my life began to change. But something else happened. I used to be an executive for Columbia Pictures and was senior vice president of production and made movies that you guys have seen, from Pursuit of Happiness all the way to The Karate Kid and Heaven is for Real. But while I was there as an executive, the alarm started going off again. And the alarm was saying, DeVon, you are more than just the title on your door. But I would rationalize, say, no, I'm not. Come on, I'm making good money. I have good relationships. I believe that this is who I am. But I'd be in staff meetings and I would not be happy. I would get the direct deposit into my account and it would not satisfy me. I would go into my office saying, I'm working on these great movies, working with these great stars. Why am I not happy? Because there was more I was called to be, and I did not want to answer the call. I'll never forget it. It got so bad one day, I was in my office, literally not kind of in tears, but literally broke down crying. Because I just felt like I'm supposed to be something. I'm supposed to do something with this gift to help people, but I don't know what to do. And it seems illogical to try and break out of where I am just to do this thing that may not work. The thing that is going on in your spirit, the ringing that you're hearing, it is illogical because it's going to require your faith to do it. If you could do it in your own strength, it would not scare you. The very fact that it scares you right now is evidence that it's what you're supposed to do. So you know what I had to do? I said one day, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to quit. I'm going to quit being the senior vice president of production. People know me all around the world as a studio executive and the guy who has faith, but I'm quitting. Because I no longer want to be defined by what I do in a title. I have to be comfortable being who I am, and I have to be able to have the faith to walk that out. So I did a film called Heaven is for Real. This is a true story. 2 days after that movie opened, we did $30 million in 5 days. You know what I did? I went into the chairman's office at the company I worked at, Sony Pictures, and I quit. She said, what do you mean you're quitting? I said, I have to go. It is time for me to start my own company. You know, there are things I have to do. I have to write more books. I have to preach more. I got to motivate people. That's what I'm here to do. And I can no longer do that because the executive box has gotten too small. Might I submit for your consideration that maybe the box you put your life in, maybe the box you put your dreams in has gotten too small. This is why you feel this restlessness in your spirit, because every time you try to stretch in the freedom of what you're supposed to do, the life that you have put yourself in will not let you go any further. So when you are in a box that cannot fit you, you must destroy the box. Go ahead and recycle the box, because it's time to step into who you were created to be and what you were created to do. And in that meeting, in that moment, I said, I have to start my company, and I want you guys to fund it. And she said, yes, we will fund it as long as you make sure that you do everything at this studio. I began my production company 2 years ago. Was it scary? You better believe it. There was no evidence it was going to work. People said, oh, DeVon, you're crazy. You're going to leave working for Sony Pictures and you're going to go out on your own? Are you crazy? I said, yes, I am crazy. I'd much rather have it say on my tombstone that he was crazy and lived by faith than to say that he played it safe and never fulfilled his calling. Who am I talking to? Don't get quiet on me now. Who am I talking to? At the end of the day, will you have answered more calls on your cell phone that you don't even remember that you answered, and left the one call that mattered neglected, which was why you were created? It's going to disrupt your life. I give you that right now. It's going to disrupt it. But God bless the disruption. If the disruption takes you to your destiny, then it was well worth it. Why are you going to keep letting the alarm go off and you keep hitting snooze and you keep hitting snooze and you ask yourself, when am I going to be happy if the happiness is tied up in answering the call? So I know you all came here, be a part of the show, but you didn't realize that the only show that matters is your show. That's it. You're the only show that matters. And at the end of the day, I would rather you come here and get a word that might change your life than just to sit here and think that you were participating and you go home the same way. Whatever the call is in your spirit that is ringing, I challenge you, have the courage to answer it. Hello? It is me. Yep, I'm scared, but I'm going to do it anyway. May God bless you. May he keep you. May his face shine upon you. Answer the call.
Now you know why we all love him. DeVon Franklin.